really tough to watch the Mike Trout part of that storyline because, you know, you love watching him play, and not only in the batter's box, but on the base paths too. But unfortunately, that's where he was hurt, and he's going to spend some time on this disabled list as he's deciding to have surgery on that thumb. He was safe, by the way, of course, but the timetable for this injury is 6 to 8 weeks.
And I mentioned this before. He's sliding head first. When the throw goes off to the shortstop side of second base, he could have stood, you know, he could have gone in standing up. He had already committed to sliding, and it's kind of almost bizarre that he got injured in that situation because he didn't have to go in as hard and as aggressively into second base as he did.
Right.
But he always plays hard, so I'm not going to knock him for that necessarily. It's just that, unfortunately, in this situation, it's not just the Angels who lose out, it's all of baseball. Baseball fans we don't get to see a guy who is right now playing at an MVP level. He's got the best WAR in baseball at 3.5, and I really feel badly. Hey, you got a chance at least to go see him at Citi Field a couple weeks ago, right?
Yep.
So there are going to be some fans here, I'm sure, who bought tickets thinking that the Angels are coming into town, like, oh, well, at least I get to see Trout. Maybe Pujols gets 600 home runs while I'm at the game, right? So they may still get the Pujols home runs, but they're not going to get the Trout and a chance to see the best player, I believe, in baseball right now.
Yeah, you know how many teams, when they heard that news, were like, all right, Angels, where are they on the schedule? 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you better believe there's a lot of marketing departments.
Come on into town.
A lot of marketing departments are coming up with some new plans. Oh, yeah, we're going to give out some bobbleheads and do some other things here to get some people into the stands here.
Well, yeah, and also opposing teams being excited that they're playing the Angels now, not having to worry about Mike Trout.
That's true.
So that's a big part of it, too. It's going to be interesting also because the race between Mike Trout and Aaron Judge in the AL was heating up between these two guys.
Absolutely.
You know, one would hit a home run and the other would hit a home run. Now it's really just Aaron Judge kind of atop the home run standings, at least in the American League, and it's crazy to watch the fact that now there might be more pressure on him. There might be a little bit more of a spotlight on him to be more of a breakout star because a lot of that attention was going to Mike Trout and the phenomenal best season of his career that he was having. So you wonder how that affects Judge at all, you know, if it does.
The other thing to watch for is the Angels were knocking on the door in the race for the second wild card. Now, granted, we're talking about here the day after Memorial Day. It's a little early to be talking about wild card races. At the same time, for the Angels, it was a big plus because we haven't seen them sniffing the playoffs here in recent years. Here was a chance, based on Mike Trout's performance, guarantee if the Angels get into the wild card, he's the MVP. He's the lock for the MVP, and he might have been either or. Now this is really going to be a setback depending on how long he's out. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back and put up the kind of numbers, but hopefully for all of us, he's only gone a minimal time. And knowing Mike Trout, he might only be out for 4 weeks.
Well, and you saw the Rangers and Angels kind of battling it out there in the division and for that second wild card spot now. Think about this. Rangers getting a player back, Angels losing a player, that could actually change those standings quite a bit as Adrian Beltre makes his season debut. So that could be an interesting situation to see how that plays out.
It's the Angels, Rangers, and the White Sox 2.5 games back of the second wildcard spot, with the Rays ahead of them, just a half game behind the Orioles and the Indians. I would be shocked if the Angels, we don't see them just drop completely out of that race. And by July 4th, be completely out, where they're considering, okay, what are we going to do with our parts here? With the trade deadline approaching, who do we need to trade, and start setting up for next season and years beyond? Getting prospects in. If they can get prospects for some of the players. The problem is, it's not like they have a lot of guys there that other teams, contending teams, want.
Right.
So that's the other issue they have there in Anaheim. But yeah, let's just hope that his recovery is fast and that when he comes back, he's at Mike Trout level.
With an oven mitt on.
With an oven mitt. Slide feet first, Mike.